I'm Tamara Monosoff, and I'm the founder of MomInvented.com and my new mentoring and training website, TamaraMonosoff.com. If you have a new product idea percolating in your mind, you most likely are thinking, how am I going to design it? And that's why I'm delighted to introduce you to my special guest and friend, Justin Aiello of Aiello Designs. Hi, Justin. Thanks so much for joining us. Great. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Justin is an invention development consultant, and he specializes in hard goods. Can you talk to us just for a moment and explain what the difference is between hard goods and soft goods? Certainly. Hard goods are products that are, for all intents and purposes, hard. It's products that are made of hard plastics, even rubbers, metals, electronics. Consumer electronics would be a good example of hard goods. Something that is can be developed using CAD technology. Basically, the part that gets designed is the part that gets manufactured. Soft goods are where you get into things made of fabrics and textiles, where in order to get the final product, you're starting out with flat patterns, which are then sewn up into three-dimensional shapes to accomplish whatever purpose they have intended. So that's a whole different skill set. What they call that the world of cut and sew. So with what you do, you're working with hard goods, and you mentioned CAD Design. So for our audience, can you please explain what that is? Yeah, CAD is just an acronym for CAD Assisted Development. Basically, it means using high-end software. Nowadays, people are using 3D CAD technology. Back in 20 years ago, the common thing to use was 2 dimensions, which was really the equivalent of doing drafting, where you had the T-square and triangle. People were doing blueprints and doing different views of the same part. And it would be somebody's job to take those drawings and translate those into prototype parts and production products. Nowadays, using 3D CAD technology, we're able to shortcut a lot of those steps. And once you have a three-dimensional part engineered in CAD, that CAD data can directly be used to fabricate prototype parts, and also directly be used to generate production tooling and molds needed to get into mass production. Fabulous. Thank you for explaining that. Now, can you tell us, what should inventors be thinking at the very beginning as they're coming up with their designs? What are some tips or suggestions that you can offer? Well, assuming they are starting out with identifying a problem for which they feel that they have a solution, I think one of the very first things that can be done is to clearly define exactly what the problem is very simply, and exactly what the intended solution is very simply, and then take steps to explore whether or not that intended solution is out there in the marketplace in any form. And that would be doing some research, going online, looking around, going into retail stores, looking around, basically trying to get a sense of, have other people identified the same problem, and have other people come up with similar solutions? And if they have come up with similar solutions, is yours different enough that you feel you might potentially have something that's worth a patent? Oftentimes when we start out with our new design, we start thinking of every feature imaginable, and we start adding all of these things to our product design, and I know that increased the costs. So what do people need to be thinking about as they're thinking about, I want to add this and that? What do you tell inventors? Keep it simple. I think adding a lot of things to the product is a common inventor pitfall. Be familiar with the technologies that you're thinking about adding. Try to add features to the product that don't increase the cost, don't increase the number of parts, don't introduce brand new unrelated technologies. Really make sure that the focus is on the actual solution to the problem you've identified, and then you can be creative in part design, for example, and have one part serve multiple functions, but don't go start adding electricity or power or wireless communication electronics to products that don't need it. Obviously, it's going to increase the end retail cost, and it's going to be that much harder for the inventor to go out into the world and be successful. When people begin working with you, what helps facilitate the process? Like, what can they provide to you that will help you get up and running faster, sketching out their designs for them? If they can spend some time putting some of their own sketches together, it helps, I think, help them get set in their mind exactly what it is they're trying to develop. And also, if they can
spend some time doing any type of preliminary testing on their own. You go into your garage or your basement or your workshop, and maybe you can purchase a few products at your local store that have some of the features that you need and maybe modify them just to kind of get a sense of the feasibility if the technology that they're looking to develop is possible. Not every idea that people come to me with is something that is technologically feasible. Sometimes people are looking for things that might be 20 or 30 years out in terms of what's available in the market today.
That's really helpful. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think that trying to get an idea on the retail costs of the product is critical. Making sure that the solution that they have for the problem is not going to be something that costs significantly more than the consumer is going to want to pay. If you have a solution to a problem, that's great, but if your solution is going to be something that no one wants to buy, it's not going to be very useful at the end of the day. So I think by comparing the invention concept to other products that are currently existing in the marketplace in the retail space and looking for something that's similar in terms of the bells and whistles, the features, the technology, you can get a very rough idea at least as to what your product might cost if it were fully developed and mass produced. And then you can gauge from that as to whether or not you think you might have an easy time selling that or a difficult time selling that.
I'm really glad that you brought that up because that's exactly what we teach in my new book, How Hot Is Your Product, is trying to come up with the estimated costs for the product, testing out the market before spending a fortune bringing your product to market. And Justin Aiello is an expert who has a full interview in that book. But if you want to contact Justin directly, Justin, how can people contact you?
Just go to online and go to the website, aiellodesign.com, and Aiello is spelled A-I-E-L-L-O, design.com. Or they can feel free to give me a call, and I'm happy to provide a free phone consultation and a free invention development estimate if you want to get into the details of your product. And, of course, we'll sign non-disclosure agreements, make sure that you're protected that way before we get into any of that. But I'll give you as much information, knowledge, and pricing as I can so you make a good, comfortable decision if you decide to move forward.
Wonderful. Justin, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, you can visit Justin at it's aiellodesigns.com. Take care.